Welcome back to In Business. You know, at a time when the print industry is facing falling ad sales and forcing many publications to scale back on issues, even some closing down, we found that the Wall Street Journal's glossy magazine, WSJ, actually began increasing its frequency and circulation just over this past weekend. How are they doing this? What's behind the move? Tina Gaudoin, editor-in-chief of WSJ, is here with us now. I should say WSJ, period.
Indeed.
Don't forget the period.
Should, yes.
So tell me, how are you doing this? How are you increasing the number of issues and ad sales right now?
Well, we've found that we've done pretty well advertising-wise at a time when things are quite tricky for the general magazine market. So given that we are increasing our ad sales, we figured that we could also reinvest in the magazine, up our circulation, go from about 800,000 to 1.6 million, and make sure that all our readers globally get the magazine.
Now, where are you seeing that build in ad sales coming from? I mean, are these ultra high-end companies? Are they more of the middle market? I mean, how have you changed the entry point for those advertisers?
Well, we have a pretty pragmatic bunch of advertisers. We range from cars to phones to drink to luxury goods to fashion. So actually it's broadly across the spectrum, which is interesting at this time as well. But we are finding that our readers are interested in spending money. They're interested in luxury goods, but our readers have always been fairly pragmatic about what they buy and how they buy, and they continue to be so.
Now, it seems that there is some appetite for curated content right now, but the question is how consumers want to receive that, right? Now, in reading through the information about your magazine, your readers spend an average of 55 minutes thumbing through this. So is there just something inherently different about how consumers read a magazine, a glossy one, a high-end one like that, versus, you know, some of the other magazines that have found a real niche in the e-reader distribution model?
Yeah, I mean, I think a glossy magazine reader still expects a level of luxury, a level of authenticity, a level of excellence that you might not expect to find with, for example, an e-reader experience.
There's just something about the tactile experience.
There's something very tangible about looking at glossy images in a magazine if they're presented right. I don't think anymore there's a market just for luxury goods to buy. I don't think anymore there's a market for a catalogue of just very expensive things without some editorial content, some real meaningful editorial content around that.
Because we've seen even just recently, you know, Vogue making headlines, Condé Nast making a foray into this space of putting content that you would read in your hands online more and making it available on e-readers. Why is that working for you to stay in this mode, and why not do what they're doing? Well,
in fact, we are doing what they're doing in a sense, because we will be looking at e-readers. We already have our own website, and what we tend to do is use the magazine or use the website as an extension of the magazine. So we'll provide further content, further experience for the readers of the products, of the people online in video and in editorial format. So in fact, what we are looking at and what we are seeing is a much broader platform for consumption for glossy magazines across the internet and then into e-readers.
Now, WSJ, the magazine owned by News Corp, Rupert Murdoch has made a lot of noise about the concerns about paying for content. What's going to happen with the magazine on that front?
Well, at this point, the magazine is still in front of the paywall. So I don't know what we're going to do in the future, but that's where we are now, because we feel very strongly that our readers need to be familiar with the magazine. They need to understand it. This is the first time that 1.6 million people have actually gotten to see the magazine.
And
so we're going to stay
free
ahead of
at
that.
this point.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes with the Saturday package, with the Saturday paper, yeah.
So has the ad rate moved up or down? Are you charging more or less than you did?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
Really?
Yeah,
it surprised me when we were speaking with Tom Florio of Condé Nast, who said that they were actually charging more for advertising space. You would think in this environment that the pressure would cause you to lower ad rates.
Well, I think that's a very controversial approach, but I think you have to be very cautious. We don't know where the market's going. We know where it's come from, but we really have still no sense of how far it can go, how far it can still grow in this market and then online. So we're taking a pretty pragmatic approach to that right now.
And you've seen the halo effect with the website from this as well. Thank you so much. It's an interesting perspective,
Thank you very
Tina.
much.
Thank you for coming in. Tina Gaudoin, editor-in-chief of WSJ.